Hi and welcome to my new video. I had a little bit of trouble thinking about what I would film next, but I realized that I didn't film my matching phase video yet for my second matching phase and for like the extension matching, you know? Before I start telling you about the families that I talked to and that requested me, I want to give you some information about what's different when you're an extension au pair. So when you're an extension au pair, you're entering your second year of being an au pair, meaning that your first family can already tell like the new family something about you. So your old family and your LCC both have to write a recommendation in your profile, and you have to answer some questions about your first year, about your experience, and what you want to change in your second year, if there is something, and stuff like that. It's only 4 questions and a short like letter to your new host family, so yeah. Also, you can choose if you want to be in a specific state, and that's gonna appear in your profile. It does not mean that only families from this state are gonna send you requests though. I know plenty of people who put different states in there, but they still got family requests from other spots. So that it's just a help for families to like orient themselves and see if you would want to be with them. But some families don't even look at that and just like try to connect with you anyway. So I have all my information in this little notebook, so if I keep looking down, like, don't wonder why I might be looking down. So my second matching phase officially started on March 6th, 2020. I was a little bit later than when I matched last year. So yeah, this matching phase was a lot different than my first one because it was a lot shorter. I had a lot less families that I talked with and a lot fewer connections. So remember that my first matching phase was like 7 months, and I had 74 families in my profiles, and I think I talked to 15. I don't really remember that, but yeah, something around that. This time I had 11 family requests and I just Skyped one. So since this was about to be my third au pair experience, my third au pair family, I knew pretty much what I was looking for, and I made myself a list and wrote down what I wanted and what I didn't want. So things that I didn't want, so-called deal breakers, were that the family didn't celebrate Christmas, because I didn't celebrate Christmas in my first year, so I really wanted to do that in my second. A family who had a curfew, a family where I didn't have access to a car or like very limited, a family that would make me cook meat, and a family that already seemed like they would not really treat you like a family member. All those things would have been a deal breaker. All those things I would not have accepted in a family. And I was looking for someone who would include me as a part of the family, someone who would treat me as an adult and not as like they're an additional kid, pretty much. I wanted to be in California for sure, and if possible in Southern California, because I'm not so much a fan of Northern California, but if the family would have been perfect, I would have met with them anyway. So but I still put it in my profile, just like, you know, give all the information you can. I didn't really want more than 2 kids, but it would not have been a deal breaker. I needed a family that was okay with me being vegan and not cooking meat. If they were vegan, that would have been perfect, of course, but since I think there's not so many vegan families, I didn't really expect it. And actually I wanted older kids. I wanted only girls, or like, not that I just wanted girls, but to be like the super perfect family. I would have had only girls older than 9. And yeah. So now I'm gonna give you a chronological overview about the families I talked to, and then I'll give you some more information about the family I'm living in now, because I haven't done that yet. So I entered the matching pool on March 6th, and on the same day I got the first request by Culture Care, though, because they hooked us up. For a while now they've been able to do that. And this family lived right outside of LA. They had 2 kids. I don't remember exactly what the constellation was, but they had 1 boy, like 6 or 7. I don't know about the other kid though. And they wanted a German-speaking au pair, but they didn't want a vegan that doesn't want to cook meat. They were okay with me being vegan, but they were not okay with me not cooking meat, so they declined me. The second family request came in the next day, and they lived in San Diego, had 2 kids, a girl 10 and a boy 8, and a dog. Sounds good from the hard facts. I don't know why we didn't match. I have to say that in that matching phase it was a lot harder to keep track of families, because Culture Care changed the profiles, and now you're only able to have 3 families in your profile at the same time. When I first started, for my first matching phase, it was 10, and then they cut it down to 6, which was already a really bad change, and now it's down to 3, and it's just horrible. So 10 was perfect for me, 3 is just a pain, and I pretty much kept kicking families out if they didn't get in touch with me before a new family that I would possibly be interested in requested a connection. So it might have just been one of those. I have to say I didn't really keep proper track of the families at that point, so those notes are not like super detailed and stuff, so I might have missed something. Family number 3 came the next day, so my second day of matching, and they were actually the family I matched with. I'm living in now, so I'm gonna give information about them at the end. Family number 4 had 2 boys and lived in San Francisco. I didn't want 2 boys, so yeah. And then family number 5 lived in Silicon Valley, so up north as well. And they had a girl and a boy, 5 and 2 years old. They also requested a connection on the same day. And I know for a fact that I accepted them first because I saw them in my family overview. And a day later, I had another family request of a single mom with 1 boy, and I didn't want an only child. I didn't want a boy, so yeah. Family number 7 was a day later on March 10th. They were from LA and had 3 boys, but I had already matched at that point and I wouldn't have wanted 3 boys anyway, so. And then I had another family from Santa Barbara on the 12th, and they also had 3 boys, which I didn't want and I had already matched. Same day, another family, and they had 2 kids, but I had already matched. A day later on the 13th, I had another family from San Francisco. They sounded really good. They had a boy, 12, and 2 girls, 8 and 5. I would totally have talked to them, and they might have been a good match, but I had already matched, so yeah. Even though they were from San Francisco, like, I didn't just cut it down to the place, so I would have matched with a family from San Francisco if they would have been good, and I would have had like a good feeling about them. So don't get me wrong, I didn't just go by place, but since I had already matched, and Southern California just was my preference, but yeah. And the last family was also on March 13th. and they were from San Carlos, so also close to San Francisco, and had 2 girls and a dog, but I had already matched. So you see that I only had 11 families that requested a connection this time, and that's a lot less than last time because, well, 74 towards 11 is crazy, but I will tell you why. So I entered the matching phase on the 6th, and I got this email on the 8th, and I knew that I had found my family because the family that I matched with and that requested me on the 8th, family number 3, is the family that I talked to last year for my first au pair experience, and they were just great and I really wanted to match with them, but then they had like 2 people they liked and decided for the other girl. And so now they requested me again and were like, yeah, we just wanted to check in and see if you're still interested in us and if you would like to interview. And I was like, oh my god, yes. I was actually, since we had talked in like February the year before, I had pretty much been hoping that I might get a chance to talk to them again. And yeah, I did, and we just like talked on the same day, and then I talked to their au pair the next day, and then I talked to them on the same day that I talked to the au pair at night again, and then we matched. And the thing was that the matching process, like the actual match that Culture Care has to do, took a little while, which is why I got so many requests, or a couple of requests after I had already matched, because I was not officially matched yet, because they offered me that I could get there a little later so that I could travel a bit between year 1 and 2. In the end, I decided against it because I didn't want to use my 2 weeks of vacation or anything of those 2 weeks of vacation before my second year started at all. So I decided against it, which looking back was very good because, well, Corona, and I wouldn't really have been able to do what I would have wanted to do, and so it's just better to, you know, just like get here right away. And yeah, so they have 2 kids and 2 dogs, and yeah, so I didn't get my 2 girls. I have 1 girl though, which is fine because I mean, I didn't want only boys, so 1 girl, 1 boy is fine. And yeah, they're little, and so I didn't want little kids, but because I really wanted this family so much, I was like, okay, well, never mind. And like looking back, I'm pretty glad that I didn't get like puberty kids, and like, you know, I actually wanted kids that were over 10 or 9, and that would have likely been puberty kids. So now I'm pretty glad I have little kids. So yeah, it was a good decision, and I'm glad to be here. And yeah, if you have any more questions about my matching or my family, you can just put them down below in the comments. And yeah, my next video is going to be in German again. It's going to be about my plans after being an au pair here. And yeah, see you in my next video or the video after. Bye!